what perpetuates survival, is the fear of feeling the very thing that we have to feel in order to be free. Okay? So for some of you, it's rage. For some of you, it's fear. For some of you, it's sadness, grief, depression. But how we rid ourselves of survival is by finally processing the emotions that we were once unable to process because we were 5. Do you see that? Does that make sense to you? So how we free ourselves of survival, and authentically free ourselves of survival. I'm not talking about fixing, healing, changing, or improving, yet more layers of adaptation. I'm talking about how do we actually elevate our personal vibration and frequency out of survival? Well, this is where it gets hard, and I love you all, yeah? So bear with me. You actually have to turn and face the source of the survival itself. So if there was some form of trauma, as the adult self, as you, the beautiful, radiant unicorn being that you are now, you actually at some point have to cultivate the courage to turn and face the trauma itself. And that doesn't mean that you have to relive it. It just means that you have to be willing to experience the emotion around it. Because it's the emotion that keeps you in the state of survival. Can you see that? So for example, when I used to do individual sessions with people before, when I was doing like 8 individual sessions a day, I would relive every moment of trauma or abuse the person that I was on the phone with had experienced, and it would disappear in them. How does that happen? Well, it happens because first of all, we're connected. Secondly, I don't have the same relationship with the trauma and the abuse that that individual does. And thirdly, I just love people. So everything would find a place of resolution in me, and it was almost like it was happening to me. And I'd be able to describe exactly what happened to the person like it was happening to me firsthand, and then it would disappear in them. And this is initially how everything began to transform. And I had to have those experiences so that I could have a level of compassion for what we have collectively gone through down here. I love you guys. Some of what you've experienced, I'm so sorry. No wonder you struggle. Right? I'm so sorry. It's intense, most of this stuff. No wonder you've blocked it out. No wonder there's an unwillingness to connect with it. No wonder there's an inability to go there. It is scary. But here's what I've discovered. When you realize you're not alone in it, somehow it makes it easier. Yeah? So for example, how many of you, and I don't need specifics, right? Let's just look at it, yeah? How many of you experienced some form of trauma between the ages of 0 and 5? What you experienced isn't isolated to you. Now, the circumstances may have been different. The people involved may have been different. However, we all collectively have this phenomenon of trauma. Okay? I just want you to see that you're not alone in that. Okay? I feel like the reason why we struggle so much is because we feel so alone in what happened. So alone in what happened. Yeah? And the truth is, you're not alone in what happened. And just so you know, it doesn't have to be anything that you're even aware of. It could be something like, for example, one or both of your parents couldn't meet your needs or didn't nurture you. That could be it. But there was a moment within which you decided that it wasn't safe anymore to be in your innocence, to be you, to be a child. From that moment on, you became the caretaker or the custodian or the rescuer. Because you would try anything that you could as a child with your limited toolbox to make the pain go away in all of the grown-ups around you.